What's good, YouTube? You see the title, you see the runtime, you got shit to do, and I'm here to help you procrastinate. Let's get into the Fishman Island arc. The Straw Hat's done dipped and Rayleigh's like, oh yeah, Luffy gonna be the GOAT, he deserved that hat. Take a look at these beautiful shots on our way to Fishman Island, cause I damn sure ain't going over none of that technical shit. You do not care that much. Caribou pulls up thinking he is somebody, he gets schmooked and tied up twice. Luffy and Sanji go out, fight a kraken, disappear like your father, and pull up having tamed that hoe. They play rock'em sock'em with a giant fish, and then a volcano erupts. Huh? There is absolutely too much going on right now. After that shenaniganery, we right outside Fishman Island. We did it. But while we're chilling on a porch, the new Fishman pirates come up and they like, we ride for our long, so you can join our crew or we sink you. Luffy said, no way, Jose. And Frankie already had the coup de burst ready because Nami knew Luffy was not listening to a thing them boys were saying. The coding pops and them niggas is drowning in seawater. Close your eyes. Open them up because boom, we're in a house. Stop asking questions. All right, you're allowed one question. They got saved by the mermaids. We get in a tour of the island. This nigga Sanji just says, who women? We see a bunch of mermaid shawties just chilling, and we learn that because Jinbei quit the warlords, he's not allowed on the island anymore. The royal ship pulls up looking for Straw Hats and they hide. Sanji is face deep in some mermaid titty, so he turns into a geyser. Huh, would you look at that? It's even shaped like a mermaid. Anyways, Blondie is literally bleeding to death, and Chopper asks if anyone got his blood type for a transfusion. To cut the bullshit, humans put a law into place that fishmen and humans could not mix blood. This led to the death of Fisher Tiger. He bled out because humans refused to give him blood, or so we're told. After Hank Green gives us the history lesson, Luffy punches him dead in his shit, and the crew finesses the royal ship to find a donor for Sanji. We learn that the princess didn't want smoke with us, they wanted to pass on a message Jinbei left behind. A mermaid got kidnapped and that barrel is open. Nah, I'm sure it's nothing. Bad bitch alert. Good day, Madam Charlie. She sees the future and I can see us together. What's them fishits? Fishits. I tried to say fish digits. I'm dumb as hell. I'm fumbled already. GG's. We meet Starboy and he gives us the deets on Vanderdecken. Man is a grade A creep. He sends threatening letters every week demanding the princess marries him. Big Mom, a Yonko, claimed Fishman Island as her territory and got a candy factory set up in that hole like a Clash of Clans building. Madam Charlie takes a peek at the crystal ball and says Luffy will bring ruin to Fishman Island. What? This guy with the winning smile? No shot. We finally get the name and face of the big bad this arc. His name is Hody Jones. First thing we see him do is take steroids, so he on his Lance Armstrong shit. King Neptune comes down to meet Luffy and invites him to the castle. Cut back to Hody. He put on handcuffs for the hell of it when he was murking them humans. He wants to take the throne and show humans that fishmen are the superior race. This nigga's crazy. We ain't even 10 chapters in, we got the fishman supremacy in full view. Neptune's thanking the Straw Hats for saving the princess's pet shark when they were piecing up the Kraken. They make it to the castle and Luffy smells food, so he gets to wandering. He goes into a room and meets Princess Shirahoshi, who immediately starts crying, and Luffy tells her to shut that shit up. On the seafloor, we see Decken chuck an axe. That hoe heads straight for the princess. Luffy's that guy and saves her life, of course, because what else would he do? The guards come in and we learn the crew is suspected of kidnapping the mermaids, and since Luffy is going to quote unquote bring ruin to Fishman Island, they want to throw the whole gang in prison. Luffy learned that she's been cooped up for 10 years and wants to take her out for a walk, promising to knock down whatever comes her way. Luffy got that childlike wonder riz. Zoro breaks out of prison for the sole purpose of running hands. Absolute goonery. We see that Hody and Dickens is collabing to take down the kingdom. Mind you, one of these niggas is literally only doing this for coochie. Teaming up with a murderer for some neck is preposterous plotting. In a shocking turn of events, Zoro and Co got the king tied up and taken hostage. The princess come to the castle and give the messages that Jinbei left. Don't fight Hody, and I'm waiting for you in the forest. Luffy's already on his way to the forest with the princess. Mode of transportation? Riding in the shark's mouth. I just feel bad for bro. Sanji and Chopper smoking ops in the plaza, and we see old boy Hachi got schmeckledorfed. Flashback, Hachi was trying to warn them boys that them steroids gonna kill him, and that it is ass backwards for fishmen to want to destroy Fishman Island. They ain't want to hear none of that shit. They spinning the block for all long in his dream, which sounds good on paper till you remember what that nigga actually stood for. So Decken uses his mark fruit to send hella arrows into Hachi, and that's how he got blooped. Nigga said, I ain't washed my right hand since I touched the princess 10 years ago. Ugh. I know it smelled crazy under that glove. We come back to the present and Hody's talking about, it's time to rise, my brothers and sisters. The royalty don't got they third eye open. They holding us back, my niggas. Frankie meets his mentor's brother, Den, and they have a cute little heart-to-heart, and he said he'll coat the Sunny so that they can leave. Decken and them pull up on the palace, but the princess ain't here, so Decken throw a big-ass piece of coral and rides it. Man says, if I can't have you, no one can. I'll kill you. He a VTuber fan for real. Meanwhile, Hody is triggering Nami's PTSD and just cooning overall. You know how we handle fights on this channel. We don't. Luffy spots Chopper and Sanji and he gets exposed for kidnapping the princess. This nigga Sanji risks it all and turns around to look at her. He gets turned to stone from her beauty. This nigga. Decken pulling up on the coral. Luffy, while tied up, hits the meanest backflip kick I ever seen. Then he hits a nasty Hurricane Rana. He think he Rey Mysterio. Zoro's finessing Hody until he takes his roids. Now everybody's drowning. Luffy and Co make it to the forest and see Frankie and Jinbei. The forest is where the queen's grave is because she got packed up in public, no less. Nami pulls up and Jinbei apologizes to her for letting Arlong go into the East Blue. Jinbei gives us some crazy long exposition, so I'm gonna give you the most disgusting TLDR ever witnessed. Humans were racist, so the fishmen joined the world government to get closer to them. Pirates fuck up the island, so Whitebeard saves it by claiming it as his territory. Despite the racism, two people wanted to rise above it. The Queen Otohime, who wanted to live in peace with the humans, and Fisher Tiger, who freed the slaves. Fisher Tiger agreed to take an 11-year-old slave back to her village, but the humans betrayed him and snitched to the Navy. Bleeding out, he admits that he hates humans because they made him a slave, and he'll never accept their blood, even though it would have saved his life. Jinbei accepts the position of warlord, and Arlong's released from prison. Arlong said fuck humans and started up the Arlong Pirates. He tells Jinbei, if you want to stop me, you better kill me. Jinbei could not kill someone he considered his brother. The queen took a bullet for a celestial dragon, and that nigga still put a blick to her head. That is absolutely crazy. We learned that the princess can control Neptunians. The queen escorted the celestial dragon to the surface, and after getting the people of the island to believe in her dream of coexistence, she was assassinated. See how long that shit took when I said it was a TLDR? Yeah, it was a whole lot of stuff I skipped over. People were saying not too much on Sanji when I said he a bitch ass nigga in the worst straw hat, and right here is where it started. After Jinbei finishes telling his story, this nigga Frame 1 told Jinbei, kill yourself. Nami says Jinbei don't need to apologize, and he breaks down because that was heavy on his conscience. Hody pull up on the Zoom meeting. Is this thing on? It is? I bet. I'm your new king. If you fuck with humans, you die. Anyways, I'm killing the king in 3 hours. Toodaloo. We're fucked! Robin look at the poneglyph and she asking, who the fuck is Joy Boy? Luffy see Hody got his crew and Jinbei tries to stop him because fishmen still hold some resentment towards humans. He basically saying, mind your business, white boy. After scrapping for like 30 seconds, they stop and Jinbei explains, every time the fishmen open up to humans, they got betrayed. And if the person who murked Arlong came along and did the same thing to Hody, it would just make humans look worse. I would go over what Hody's guys are doing if they were relevant, but we don't live in that timeline. Hody went from screaming in pain to evolving like Cell. His hair is white, and when that man was asked how he felt, he said, perfect. Jinbei and the princess get caught, and Hody reveals that he was the one who put the queen on a t-shirt, and the princess was like, I already knew. Decken decided to throw a ship at the princess, so that's a thing that's gonna happen. Shirahoshi was like, mother said not to hate the person that killed her, so I kept it a secret so that I could keep my last promise to her. Hody laughed at her stupid ass and put bullet holes in her family. Man is so devious, he got the citizens begging for Luffy to come and bring the foretold ruin to the island. And boy does he know how to make an entrance. The king finna get killed, he come in with a clean kick. Frankie pull up with the Sunny Cannons, boom! Look at the gang posing, that's my motherfucking crew, nigga! Hody gives some long ass speech and at the end said he gonna be king of the pirates. Luffy said, oh word? His conqueror Haki sleeps half of that man's army. You can play regular king all you want, but there's only gonna be one king of the pirates in this bitch. The rest of the Straw Hats just sawing off their new moves. Luffy walks up calmly to Hody cause he knew his boys wasn't finna let him get hit, and he minked the fuck out that nigga. Remember that boat that Decken sent? Yeah, it's here now. It's big as fuck. They even call it Noah's Ark. This is crazy. Luffy just flexing on niggas now. He showing he got hockey. He ain't fodder no more. He's that guy. Hody getting dog walked out there. Absolutely violated. And the ship that got tossed is gonna pop the bubble and destroy the whole island. Let me remind you, this is all for a drop of coochie. Like, make it make sense. Ain't nobody bad enough for this to be a logical thought process. The ship is chasing the princess and we end up in the open sea. So now Hody thinking, oh yeah, it's up now. I won. You ain't him in the water. I am. Then he goes up to Decken and stabs him. If you die, ship fall. I win. But first, I'ma kill that princess. Luffy grips that man titty meat to stop him from killing Shirahoshi. What's next? Oh, crew versus fish fodder. I'm not covering that shit. You don't even remember their names. We don't gotta pretend, it's okay. We see Decken get up like he finna do something just for him to pass out. So the arc starts falling. Luffy grabbed Hody, dragged him into that bubble, and put a mean punch right into his stomach. This next moment is funny as hell. The prince is like, Hody, you dick eating so hard, you're willing to kill your own people. What the fuck did humans do for you to hate them this much? Man opens his mouth and says, nothing. Hody hates this much because that's what Arlong taught him to do. Fisher Tiger said the current generation needs to not shape the minds of the youth, because if you do, that's how you end up with someone like Hody. Someone who hates purely through secondhand knowledge and nothing else. Back to the ignorance though, Fishman shoot a big ass bubble towards the arc to give Luffy air to bleep block that nigga Hody for good. Now that they're surrounded by air, you already knew what was finna happen when he reached the arm back. That shit covered in fire now. What the hell? This a new move. Red Hawk? Oh my god. Had that nigga clutching his chest, coughing and wheezing, but that ain't the end, baby. Shark bullets? Bitch, please. Weave. Elephant gun. GG too easy, uninstall my game, pussy. The Noah's still falling, so Luffy hitting the meanest elephant Gatling to try to destroy the ship. But thankfully, the princess summoned Neptunians to stop it from crushing the island. With confirmation that everyone's alright, Luffy passes out with a smile on his face. The Neptunians chatting it up like, yeah, if we ain't show up, the island would be alright, but we kinda need this ship. And they also noticed that Luffy could hear him for a moment, just like a certain pirate king we know of. They set the ship down and say they'll get someone to fix it before the promised time arrives. Luffy bleeding out needs a blood transfusion, and though they're thankful for Luffy, the fishmen are still reluctant to give blood because of the law. But one fishman didn't give a fuck. Jinbei steps forward and said he'll give as much as he needs to, because pirates don't follow laws, and human or fishman, they all bleed red. Luffy was awake the whole time and he's like, Jinbei, you a real nigga. You have got to join my crew. Jinbei does end up saying he can't, but only for now. After he done what he need to do, and if Luffy still wants him, he'll happily join the crew. So the Ops is in prison, we have a feast, and Robin asked the king about Joy Boy. Joy Boy lived in the 100-year void, and the poneglyph was an apology for a broken promise. But legend says that someone will fulfill that promise in his place, and the princess, being queen of the Neptunians, will inherit the name of the ancient weapon Poseidon. We learned that Akainu and Aokiji had a fight to see who would be the fleet admiral after Sengoku's retirement. After 10 days and 10 nights, Akainu took the W. Aokiji said, fuck that, I ain't working under Akainu, so he dipped. Shut the fuck up, baby. We talking about Goat Beard now. He's a certified Yonko, so stop playing with his name. We see the after effects of them energy pills. These motherfuckers aged like milk out in the hot summer sun, my boy. They are old, decrepit, and cooked. Caribou gets smacked up again. Crazy, who would have seen it coming? Big Mom sent her goons to collect the sweets, and I gotta confess, I thought Peckham's was a girl until Zoe. My dumb ass was not cooking. Big Mom picks up the phone cause she'll be damned if they don't got her sweets. Luffy picked this up like, hey yo, this is Big Mom? Sucks to suck, I hate all them things, all 10 tons, and I'm gonna make Fishman Island my territory. Caribou gets his shit packed again, and that's it. Told y'all 3 sentences max, this nigga don't matter. Cut to the Navy, and we see that Smoker and Tashigi got finer after 2 years. That's what I like to see. We get a new log pose, and Luffy said, oh yeah, we going to the most dangerous island, and see all that wiggling? And now they're on their way to the new world. Next stop, Punk Hazard. Oh yeah, we also mailed a pipe bomb to Big Mom's doorstep, but that won't matter for a few arcs. That's the ignorant review of Fishman Island. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. It's been your boy Demi Darko, and I'll see y'all niggas next time. Peace.